According to Drake in an interview on LeBron James's The Shop, Drake and Kanye were on good terms and working on music together, with Kanye originally sending Drake the Lift Yourself beat to work on.
He played me like this.
He played you a beat, right?
He played me Lift Yourself, and he was like, yo, you can have this if you want. And I was hype, I started writing to it, and then he was like, yo, you gotta come to Wyoming.
So Drake and his producer homie 40 get invited to Wyoming to work on music with Kanye. And apparently 40 went to Kanye's famous ranch in Wyoming a day early, and the vibe was completely off.
So Wyoming happened, and 40 went to Wyoming early. And he was like, man, I'm here a day early, man, something's off.
He's like, felt it?
40 said that.
Yeah, he's like, this guy's working on an album, man.
The problem was, it seemed like he went under the pretense that they were going there for Kanye to work on Drake's album, Scorpion, that was about 60% finished at this point, without realizing that they had actually been drafted out there to work on Kanye's music.
And I told him when I was
How much of
dropping,
Scorpion did you have done by then?
maybe like 60% or something.
Got it.
He's like, this guy's working on an album, man. And I was like, for real?
Because he hadn't announced it yet.
He just told me he wanted to work on, like, he just told me he wanted to give me beats, and he said he wasn't dropping till like October, November, or something like that. And I'm like, it's all good. Let's just go and let's see what it's about.
But regardless, Drake still went out there, where he indeed did end up spending the majority of the time working on Kanye's music.
So I went and, you know, ended up pretty much spending majority of my time working on his music, like just trying to like cook up ideas for him, you know? I was out there and I spent all my time pretty much working on his stuff.
We later found out that this specifically included writing the hook for the track Yikes, in my opinion the only good song on Ye, just saying. A ghostwrite which didn't even come with credit initially until Ebro later aired it out. The thing is, Drake actually claims that whilst he was there, Kanye was being very personal and prying into his private life.
You gotta be transparent with me, and you gotta play me your music, and you gotta tell me when you're dropping, and I know you don't like to do things like that. And so, you know, I was in the studio. I guess, you know, we all kind of felt a genuine vibe from it. So I played him my music, and I told him when I was dropping. By the way, I'm in Wyoming. I play him March 14th. I send him a picture of my son.
Oh my God.
I tell him I'm having trouble with my son's mother. We had a conversation. I shared my...
So Drake tells Kanye about his secret love child, which most of the world doesn't know about at this point. Though I do want to say, just for the record, TMZ and a few other celebrity gossip outlets had reported on a Drake paternity suit rumor long before Pusha T had ever rapped about it. Y'all just weren't paying attention. But more importantly, whilst there, Drake tells Kanye that he is planning to release his Scorpion album in June. And so later on in the year, on April 16th, Drake announces to the public that he's going to release Scorpion in June. And then coincidentally, 3 days later, Kanye announces his Ye project dropping June 1st. This came along with a cavalcade of other release dates from Kanye's Good Music label. And this, of course, included Pusha T's album Daytona. Now, I'm going to stay away from the core of the Drake Pusha T beef, but if you do want that video from me, you're going to have to run up my Twitter, baby. So follow me over on Twitter at TraplawRoss. Drop me a follow and drop me a tweet saying that you want me to do the Drake Pusha T video. And if I hit 10K followers on Twitter, I'll do it for the gang. So Kanye and the whole Good Music team seem to be stepping on Drake's release date, and he confirmed himself that he was kind of annoyed about this when he appeared on The Shop.
I wake up and all these dates are out one by one by one, all around June 15th, by the way. One's May 31st, one's June, whatever.
But then even more explosively, Drake says that while he was texting Kanye, supposedly on good terms, out of nowhere the song Lift Yourself releases, featuring vocals from Kanye West screaming poopity scoop all over that beat that Drake wanted.
Then the next 2 days, whatever, I wake up now to this text from him, passive, like, sends me to something I did, yo, I love you, brother. Lift Yourself comes out with him just talking nonsense. I'm like, oh,
Scooby poop that route, yeah.
Oh, this guy's trolling. This guy's trolling me. Yeah, he's oh, this was like a manipulative, like, I want to break you thing. So I said, all right. I'm gonna go back to distancing myself again. And
so at this point, Drake takes a step back from Kanye's strange moves. But then before anything can even calm down, Pusha T's Daytona drops, the Kanye West produced album that includes the track Infrared, a direct diss aimed towards Drake. Now, long story short, this song was a reply to an earlier Drake song called Two Birds, One Stone, ironically also produced by 40 with a drum sample courtesy of Kanye West. Ironic when that track itself was actually going at two of Kanye's label mates, Kid Cudi and Pusha T, specifically mocking Kid Cudi's mental state and questioning Pusha T's dope dealing credentials. Pusha T chose his song Infrared as an opportunity to counter these claims, along with some other sharp bars that mainly went at Drake for ghostwriting, on a similar basis to what Meek Mill did when he was beefing with Drake. Remember Meek Mill? I think he goes by 64 now. Anyway, Drake was positively baffled as to how Kanye could let somebody go so so hard on him on one of his beats when they had seemingly just been on good terms.
And of course, there's a diss song towards me that you produced that's talking about writing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm writing for you.
I was just there with you as friends, helping you, and now you're dissing me. So I'm like, man, this is dark.
This is evil shit.
This is dark.
Damn, he must have forgot that he had dissed Pusha T over a Kanye beat to begin with. So the very same day that Daytona and that diss track Infrared dropped, Drake clapped back quick time with his Duppy Freestyle, a brilliantly smooth response that seemed to be more focused at putting down Kanye than Pusha T. He of course rebuffed those ghostwriting allegations, saying that if anything, he is the one that changed his ghostwriter Quentin Miller's life, and that if Quentin Miller has no hits, Drake is really the one helping Quentin. I mean, the song's opening line says that if you rebuke Drake for working collaboratively with Quentin Miller, then what is he supposed to think of Kanye, who has sought Drake's ghostwriting help in the past, pointing out that he popped Style and let him repeat for 30 hours. Of course, a reference to Drake's ghostwriting on the song 30 Hours, and of course Pop Style, the song that he had taken Jay-Z and Kanye off of, as well as going on to say that he could never have a Virgil in his circle and hold him back because he makes him nervous. A reference to Kanye's fractured relationship with fellow fashion buddy Virgil Abloh, who reportedly had Kanye seething with jealousy when he landed the creative director job at Louis Vuitton.
I felt bad. I felt like it was supposed to be me. I was the Louis Vuitton Don. People still call me the Louis Vuitton Don when I'm walking down the street.
At the end of the song, Drake says to Pusha, "Tell Ye we got an invoice coming to you, considering we just sold another 20 for you." So devilish Pusha T, knowing what was about to come, retweeted the song Duppy and asked Drake to send the invoice, which he did, actually posting a $100,000 invoice to Instagram directed to Pusha T and Kanye's good music, apparently with payment due for promotional assistance and career reviving. Damn, I'm gonna need to start invoicing rappers too. Anyway, this was a good little burn and a nice little social media W for Drake. But he wouldn't be laughing for long, because Drake, having used this opportunity to really skewer Drake and Kanye, didn't realize that a nuclear grade L was heading his way. And that is where shit hit the fan. Because as we all know, Pusha T then completely humiliated Drake with the devastating diss track, The Story of Adidon, giving it a spicy cover art that had Drake looking like the rap game Justin Trudeau. The Story of Adidon, as we all know, was famous for outing Drake for having a secret love child. But the big question on everybody's minds at this point was, where did Pusha T get this info? Of course, we can remember Drake telling LeBron and the gang on the shop that Kanye made Drake be transparent with him about his son when he went to record with him in Wyoming, alluding to the fact that Kanye was probably the source of the info. So when The Story of Adidon dropped, it seemed like Drake had squarely pointed the finger at Kanye. Though to me, this always made no sense and seemed a little bit sus, because Drake spent so much of his Duppy song dissing Kanye. And so why would you go so hard for Kanye's neck when you know that he has potentially damaging information on you? Now, Kanye himself denied being responsible for the leak.
So you didn't get Pusha T the information?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
But what, don't pull me to this conversation. I'm Ye. I got major things to do.
Ye there, apparently. Also in this interview with 107.5, Ye made a few bonus jabs to Drake, saying that it had been insensitive of him to stress Kanye out when he was recovering from his mental breakthrough in Wyoming.
We understand that he got upset about it. I feel that it was insensitive for him to in any way stress me out anyway after TMZ while I'm in Wyoming healing.
And Kanye also weirdly mentioned Drake sending him purple demon emojis. I mean, to be honest, if you got a purple demon emoji from Drake, I wouldn't know if he was planning to hurt me or fuck me. But these ominous purple demons apparently prompted Kanye to think that this beef was going beyond rap, something that was not of interest to him.
You know, Drake is a person who loves Kanye West, loves everything I ever did. You're supposed to be protective of that person at all costs and make sure, bro, are you good? You know what I'm saying? It's not about being selfish, oh, I wanted to be on the Lift Yourself beat and I wasn't on it, so now I'm mad at you, so now I'm sending, purple demon emoji. I had to ask, what does this purple demon emoji mean? Right. And then when I found out what it meant, I started thinking about my family.
Right.
And I'm not calling nobody to do nothing and all that stuff, because then I gotta owe that person for the rest of it. And I got all these people on my payroll and da-da-da and all that stuff, and I don't You know, I don't do that. I make beats.
Immediately after this, Drake shared another picture with a laugh face and a bunch more purple demon emojis, seemingly mocking Kanye's interview and maybe suggesting that he was indeed planning to hurt Kanye or just fuck him. But clearly there was no love lost between these two, because 2 months before, Kanye had also echoed this sentiment in the track Make No Mistake from his Ye album, dropping the lines "too close to snipe you," a reference to only living down the street from Drake, going on to say "too rich to fight you," and finally telling him to calm down, pointing out his light skin, a reference worth remembering for later. Anyway, it would turn out that the "Kanye leaked my love child" narrative might be much more forgiving than the truth, because Pusha T later appeared on the Toe Budden podcast, disputing everything Drake said on the shop and kinda shitting on the whole premise of that interview.
Let's just start with the shop, since we here already. The way that he would alley-oop those questions to Drake were like nuts. Like, it was nuts. And on top of that, it was very biased. And you didn't even try to camouflage the biasness. It's okay. But
I don't disagree.
You know.
But it's not just the biased questions that made Drake look good, because Push felt that the way that they interviewed Drake is what allowed him to change and twist the narrative and make it seem like Kanye had been responsible for leaking that information, a claim which Push disputes.
And I just don't like how the narrative is changed. It's not true. It may make sense in Drake's mind that, oh, Ye told Push about my son and my situation. I was in Wyoming, blase, blase, blah. Right? It's wrong. Didn't happen like that.
Yes, Pusha says Kanye is not the person that gave him the info, instead putting the psychological boot into Drake one last time, suggesting that Drizzy had actually been betrayed by his day one homie 40, who leaked the information about Drake's secret kid by pillow talking to an untrustworthy chick.
The information came from 40. It didn't come from Kanye. 40 is sleeping with a woman who begins to, he talks to her daily, 5-6 hours a day.
Oh, she must have a great personality.
Yeah, bruh. With that also came the fact that Drake has a child.
This is frankly an explosive allegation, and one we've naturally not heard a squeak about from the OVO side. Now, maybe Pusha T is just covering for his man Kanye and trying to protect him, and in the process putting more doubt in Drake's mind about his own team, a further act of disrespect. Or then again, maybe Drake is doing the very same thing, pointing the finger at Kanye to cover his boy, or simply just choosing to believe it was Kanye because he can't possibly process that it was his day one boy that let him down. Hey, maybe he needs some new friends, new. Anyway, this isn't a Pusha T versus Drake video, this is a Kanye versus Drake video. And the fact is, Story of Adidon dropped, Drake gets publicly humiliated to a scale that the music industry never thought possible, all at the hands of Pusha T and Kanye's good music empire. And this left many fans waiting for a savage reply. But what do we get? A fat old OVO semi-truck full of nothing. In fact, to this day, Drake has never responded to the Story of Adidon on wax. But here's the most pathetic thing of all. Because rather than just fall back and gobble down that L, just like Meek Mill had to do before him, just like that kid in 8th grade who's a compulsive liar whose granddad apparently killed Hitler, Drake came out after the beef to say that he apparently had recorded a diss song that was so good, so savage, so potentially devastating to Kanye's career, that he did the right thing by never releasing it. Oh, come on, Drizzy, pull the other one. What's next? You finally found a girlfriend to settle down with, she just goes to another school and we can never meet her? Apparently it was actually Drake's little Houston sugar daddy, Jay Prince, who told Drake not to release this alleged career-ending track after a supposed courtesy call to Kanye West. Jay Prince even alleged that this diss was so savage that it would have ruined Kanye's life, and maybe even Drake's too. And there was even a rumor that Lil Wayne was involved.
Is Drake taking your advice? Because the rumor is he already has a song and Lil Wayne is involved.
Well, I don't know about Lil Wayne, but he definitely was cocked and loaded, and he definitely was ready to fire. I would say this, because me and Kanye had spoke. I don't think he would mind me stating we had a conversation. This could have been a career-ending situation where he concerned, and it also could have damaged, I think, a whole lot of livelihood where people are concerned.
I mean, Kanye's career would have been over.
Well, for sure, I feel like he would have been twisted with this one, and it wouldn't have been good for Pusha either.
Now, digging a little closer, I personally think that Jay Prince was probably just doing a bit of clout chasing like his son does. Because while Jay Prince was jumping from interview to interview, spilling the beans on how he had single-handedly saved Kanye's career from the wrath of Drake, he also conveniently managed to use this scandal as an opportunity to shift his new book.
How do you feel about this Pusha T beef that's going on right now? You know I had that.
This guy is being disrespectful.
Okay.
You know what I mean? My book is called The Art and Science of Respect. So
Now, in his defense, Drake at least denied the rumors that this Adidon response was just a myth when he appeared on the Rap Radar podcast.
And when I was making the record in response, which was a real record, I know people think it's like some myth. It was like on this Vinyl's beat, and I just found myself saying things that like one seemed really out of character, just because I was like deeply invested in the situation and getting very angry, and saying things that I don't know if in 2 years I'd want to hear myself say.
And he also told LeBron in the shop that he did record the song, but what it was gonna do to Kanye was so bad it wasn't something he wanted to be remembered for.
You wrote the song and never put it out.
Yeah, because I got home and I just listened back to it and I was like, man, this is not something I ever want to be remembered for.
Damn, Drake, it must have been bad if you'd prefer to be remembered for this. And also, while we're there, let me just drop this clip in, because it basically sums up my own personal opinion on this mythical career-ending diss.
Oh, I made this record that was gonna end your... No, you fucking didn't. You believe that. I don't believe that.
No, I said I believe he had recorded a record.
Alright, fine, but let's play Drizzy's advocate for a second. This hypothetical, devastating, career-ending diss track is supposedly so bad because it's rumored to be alleging that Drake had an affair with Kanye's wife, Kim Kardashian West. But no evidence for this theory existed when the story of Adidon was released. But the thing is, from that point on, after being savagely embarrassed in front of the whole world, Drake begun dropping what was perceived as sneaky lyrics that alluded to something having gone on between him and Kim, with the main pieces of evidence being his lyrics on the song Sicko Mode with Travis Scott, and of course that questionably chorused banger, Kiki, do you love me?